Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast for the haunted attraction haunt entertainment community. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. And we return to you this week with a mammoth episode. Dare I say, a gargantuan episode.
Really?
Yes, well, I mean, it's going to be the same length, but we're doing 30 things.
Yes, there is a lot to cover.
There's a lot of ground to cover. We don't have time to waste. Actually, we have a little bit of time. So on that note, I do want to take a moment and remind everyone, if you have stumbled upon this podcast through some unknown means, that's great. We're happy to have you. But take a moment and check us out at hauntweekly.com or Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook. YouTube.com/Haunt Weekly is our YouTube channel. We're also available on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. And if you're of the kind of mind that wants to catch us live, you can do so every Sunday at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're right here on our Facebook page doing this live. And I see the cat has decided to join us.
Of course he has.
Of course. He's very curious. He's a bit of an asshole like that.
Yes.
Well, on that note, everyone, first thing is first. We have a question of the week, do we not?
We do. And
Crystal.
the question of the week this week is, what marketing questions do you have? We want to know if you've ever had to deal with marketing, which
Yes.
you probably have if you're in the haunt industry.
Even if you're an actor or even if you're just a participant, you're probably trying to help promote your haunt in some way.
Right.
What questions do you have? We have a couple of people likely coming on over the next few weeks to talk about haunt marketing and various aspects of it.
Yep.
So we want some ideas for what to ask them.
Exactly. Preparation.
Yeah, this is us helping you by helping ourselves.
Uh-huh.
This is great. So yes, what haunt-related marketing questions do you have? I am very, very curious to see what you all have to ask. Because honestly, the thing about haunt marketing is that it's a very specialized niche, realistically, and it's a very unusual kind of marketing. I'll say this: as someone as a holder of an advertising degree did not prepare me for haunt marketing in pretty much any way, shape, or form. So please feel free to ask questions. I'm very curious to hear what y'all think and what questions you have. On that note, last week's question of the week was also preparation. We asked you for advice that you would give new haunters.
Yes, we didn't intend for it to be,
But
it worked out.
it got away from us. I mean, the Facebook, once again, facebook.com/Haunt Weekly question, got a lot of responses, a lot of great answers, and we're going to be going through some of those in a minute. But yeah, and basically what we decided to do is to just do an episode where we offer tips, advice, individual items for new haunters, and just, a lot of this is stuff we've talked about way more in depth previously. And as a result of that, we're going to be referencing a lot of past episodes.
Yes.
So just expect that, and expect a lot of numbers to be thrown at you, and so on and so forth. That's okay. It's fine. Go back and listen to the episodes that are particularly interesting to you, is my advice. On that note, there are some rules for this. We're going to be focusing on new haunt builders and creators.
Right.
Obviously, we're going to touch on actors some, but we really would rather have someone like Japes or someone with more actor experience to offer those new actor tips and really focus on that side.
Right.
Our experience and our history is on the build and operation side. So that's where we want to talk. And we're thinking about new home haunters or new small pro haunters.
Exactly. Not people coming in with big budgets
No.
and all the money to build their dream right out the gate.
No. If you've got a 7-figure budget for your haunt, this might not be the podcast for you.
Exactly.
So yeah, we're talking about limited budgets, limited experience, and basically it's about people who want to make the jump from haunt fan, people that love haunted attractions, to actually operating or building a haunted attraction, whether it's, like I said, a home haunt, a small pro haunt, whatever. Issues and things that you need to think about basically as soon as possible.
Yes.
And tips and advice to make the process go a lot smoother. Oh, that damn cat.
Yes, he wouldn't go inside.
No, he would not. We tried to make him go inside. We promise. He was very adamant about staying out, and now he's in our way.
Yes. And messing with the mic stand.
And probably causing audio issues. So we apologize if there is any audio issues on Crystal's mic in particular. Note, it is not caused by Crystal. Being a cat is caused by a cat trying to be on Crystal.
Yes, I'm not a cat.
Well, I mean, some people might need clarification on that. All right, so that end, we have 30 different tips. We're going to spend a minute or two on each, and that'll probably fill most of our hour here. So you ready to get going?
Yes.
Our first tip, and this was actually props to Derek Young and Eric Jameson, both who suggested this on the post. Start small.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
No, you know, it takes a little while to know what your limits are as a hunter, but trying to keep it realistic in the beginning is crucial.
Oh, it's very crucial. I mean, here's the thing. If you're building a home hunt, try to do something that's like a few hundred square feet tops.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of rooms, maybe a short walkthrough, but try to keep it short. When we first moved, the very first hunt we did was just our front yard and our porch, which in that house was
tiny.
Not much. We're talking maybe, 150, 106, 175 square feet tops.
Maybe. Even if that much, yeah.
It was not much.
It was tiny.
It was basically a small walk up. It was a lot of fun. We really got some good scares, but it was small. It was very tiny. And when we took over this house, when we bought this house and moved into this garage,
right,
the first few years we didn't use the full garage.
No. Well, we didn't have the materials made.
Especially that 2007, when that very first year we were open here.
Right, and we were still figuring it out. Figuring out what's the best layout, what's the best way to do this.
Yeah, and like the first year, I remember we used about half the garage.
Mm-hmm.
And the second year, we used 3/4 of the garage. And then the year after that, we gave up and just took over the whole garage and fuck storage, basically.
Yeah.
What on earth is that noise?
That is Ellie being helpful and shaking treats to get the cat inside.
Oh, it's a rare appearance by Ellie on the podcast. Holy cow. This is great. I am happy about this. Go get your treats, you dumb asshole. Deaf motherfucker, get down there.
Maybe.
Hey, he's trying.
He's know.
Thinking. He's having a drink on it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You are doing a very good thing. I appreciate it. Oh, man. But yeah, start small. Getting back to the topic at hand.
Yes.
This isn't the cat podcast, as much as it probably could be.
Yes, sometimes.
Yeah. But here's the thing. If you're doing a home hunt, start with a few hundred square feet. If you're doing a pro hunt, start in the low, like 4 figures square feet, like 1,000 to 2,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Start small. It's cheaper, easier, and it gives you a chance to learn and gives you a chance to expand and do more in later years.
Mm-hmm.
Tip number 2. By the way, I don't know if we actually have 30. I haven't done a head count after you added the notes. We probably have 30. If not, we'll add some more in. Because we can come up with some more, I'm sure. Number 2, panels.
Yes.
Use panels.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, and if you want to invest in panels that will last you the longest, then go with plywood.
Yeah. Or plywood is better than OSB because paintability.
Yes.
And longevity. But
yeah, so basically we've had 3 types of panels in this hunt at various points. Not counting the first year where we had to use, plastic tarp because
and all that.
Wood was not available.
Because of Katrina.
Right. Which right now, with wood prices being the way they are, it's not practically available.
Yeah.
But so we had OSB. We had
Masonite first.
Masonite first, which is very thin, and if your customers are very scared,
they will punch holes in it, punch and kick holes through it, or collapse into it, or they don't really have to work very hard to get through Masonite.
No, they don't. And then we switched to OSB, which is a pain to paint because it's an uneven surface.
And the glue, and then the flakes.
Yeah, and then and then we finally switched to plywood, and I think almost all the walls now are plywood.
We have a few OSB ones hanging around, but they're grandfathered in.
Yeah.
So yeah. But the main thing about panels is this: panels store well and they are reusable. You can get a shipping container or a storage locker and store a crap load of panels very, very easily. And basically, this is a way that you can grow and expand year over year, make more panels,
Right.
and just assemble your haunt like a jigsaw puzzle. And as you noted, if you're actively scaring customers, you're going to need something solid, something that they can hit, because, dear God, we have seen some shit in this haunt.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've
And
seen some violence.
never underestimate
Some violence to the walls, I should say.
the destruction that a customer brings with them when they're scared.
When a customer is curled up in the fetal position, kicking the walls because they're that scared,
Yeah.
and you're trying to coax them, you're trying to stop the scare.
Yeah. I mean, you're out of character. You're trying to make sure that they're not traumatized.
You're trying not to give them PTSD, but you still got to think about the wall. It's got to be ready for the next customer.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, you definitely want the customer to be fine, you want the visitor to be fine, but you also got to think about that wall, and that's what panels bring. They bring security, stability, and something you can easily expand on. Yes, it is more expensive than other methods of construction. I don't care, because if we had built this haunt using cheap stuff, we would have had to replace everything year over year.
Yeah.
Right now, our construction costs, even on years we change layouts, are minimal,
Yes.
because we just take the panels and move them around and repaint them.
Exactly.
Super easy. If you start with panels, you'll never have to do a complete overhaul of your stuff.
Yeah.
Number 3, I think this is 3. Jesus Christ, I'm already lost count.
Yeah, I know. It would have been helpful for
I know
it
numbers
to
to
be
put
numbers
numbers in
instead
the
of
show.
bullets
That's
if you're going to do
That's like
it.
a smart people thing.
The next point. We'll just change
Yeah,
the
next
points
point
from now on.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Focus on what is free.
Yes.
Take the time, focus on your story, your theme, your characters. These are things that are free. This is just your time. Grab a 6-pack of beer and talk about your story with your other people you're running the haunt with. Talk about the characters you want in it. Flesh all that out. It adds so much depth to your haunt, and it costs you nothing.
Right.
Nothing but your time, and it's stuff you can do while drinking or just hanging out and having fun. It's really great stuff. See episode 15, we talked about this, and we may be talking about it next episode. We may have a special guest coming on next episode to talk about exactly this.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely focus on your story, focus on your characters, develop that, add that dimension to it. Even if you're a silly little home haunt, it adds so much depth, so much to the experience.
Right, exactly. All right. Next, consider waiting to start.
Oh, good God.
And the reason is right now, as we mentioned, lumber prices are fucked. They're just outrageous.
We were our friend that we are rushing to get back to
Yes.
just mentioned the sheet of plywood is now $50 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
$50 fucking dollars.
Yeah. That's insane. So see episode 279 where we went
Detail
for
about
all
the
the
lumber
reasons
prices.
about why this has happened.
And it's not gotten better.
No, and it doesn't look to be.
I am so glad that our build is functionally done and we don't have any projects.
Yeah.
We just got to put shit back together.
Exactly.
And we have a pile of scrap reusable wood for any patching we got to do. Because, dear God, I know we could not afford lumber this season.
No,
If
definitely
it's
not.
this bad in 2022, we might be debating whether we have a haunt.
Yeah.
Just literally on lumber prices alone. It's that bad. So this may not be the year to start. Even though it's a good time to start, we're talking about this in late April, you still have technically got the time to start it.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
yeah, especially if it's a home haunt. But
Maybe an elaborate yard display
yeah,
instead.
maybe do a yard display.
Or
Maybe
a yard
do
walkthrough.
something else. Or honestly, it may be 2005 us this year, but just understand you're going to be deleting and trashing everything you do if you don't build panels and don't build something firm.
Right.
Next item up for bid on the Price is Right. Start building early.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Haunt work always takes much longer than you expect. Look, our toilet right now is a little fucked. It's not running all the time.
Right.
But because the intake valve is leaky, it's not maintaining pressure on the intake line. It sounds like a TARDIS,
Yes.
which is really great when you flush your poop and you think you just sent it through time and space. Whoosh, whoosh. Yes, doctor, you have my poop.
okay. No, I'm waiting to see where you're going with this.
But I know
no
the repair.
idea.
I know the repair that we have to do.
Okay.
I know about how long it'll take, and I'm pretty sure it'll stick close to that time estimate, time and cost estimate.
Right.
None of my haunt time estimates have been remotely accurate.
Oh, yeah.
See what I mean? That's the comparison. Like,
Okay.
I know how long it'll take to fix the toilet. It's not urgent,
Right.
but I know about how long and how much money it'll take. I have made multiple guesses about how long something will take it to fix in the haunt. I have never been right in 15 years.
No. No, and that goes for, distressing things and, like, the decoration side, too. It always takes more time to put the detail in than I remember.
Absolutely. It takes so long. Here's the thing. If you're a new haunter, I would honestly start now. Mm-hmm. I mean, I say midsummer in the notes, but honestly, I'd start now in mid-spring, in early spring.
No.
And that's for a very, very small haunt. Plan on doing a certain amount of work every week or every weekend.
Right.
Set aside X number of hours, whatever you can spend,
Mm-hmm.
and just make it a routine. Every Sunday, I work on the haunt, or every Saturday, I work on the haunt, or every Friday night, I work on the haunt. Whatever works best for you.
No.
I'm not here to tell you your schedule, but make it a routine. Make it something you do week to week, and basically give yourself lots of time to make mistakes and learn some really hard lessons.
Yes, and also remember to take time to take care of your relationships outside of the haunt, because haunt widows do exist, and we don't like that.
We both love Ellie so much.
Yes.
And part of the reason we love her so much is because she's very fucking forgiving when we abandon her come September, October.
Yeah.
And we're spending all our time in this garage. So, yeah, my advice, honestly, is start now. And now is a great time because it's relatively cool still. Mm-hmm. It's going to get balls-ass hot in a few months, pretty much everywhere. And you don't want to be doing too much building then. And if you do building...
yeah, that's miserable.
And if you do building in summer, pace yourself, drink lots of water, don't be an idiot.
Yeah, we actually, the last few times we worked during summer, have had 45-minute timers just because it gets so hot.
Yeah, and we get wrapped up in shit.
Yeah.
And what I noticed is when we work in the hot summer, right?
Yeah.
We'll be working and we'll come out here and we're raring to go and we're doing great and we're having a good time. We're building the haunt. And right around 45 minutes, that's why the 45-minute time, we start getting really testy with each other.
Yeah.
Like over nothing.
Yeah,
Over
exactly.
bullshit. And we'll both do it. We'll both snap each other's head off for absolutely nothing. And that's because we're fucking dehydrated. We need a 15-minute break.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go and get some water.
Go get some water. Go
Step
cool
away.
off an AC. Take care of yourself. So
No.
if you're going to work on it in summer, that's what I would recommend. I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, next is spend money on good
Oh,
tools.
Jesus Christ almighty.
Yes.
This was a hat tip to Derek Young who mentioned
Again.
it. I would have put this in myself,
Yeah.
but Derek gets credit for it because he put it in the question of the week.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, if you aren't a tradesman, you'll likely want to upgrade your tools. We have been through many,
Yeah.
many.
I can comment on just about I would say 50% of the major tool brands out there.
Yeah, if it has a moving part in it,
Yeah.
we do not buy it from Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
I know that they're cheap and they're great, but think of them as one-time use.
And here's the thing. It's your core tools we're talking about.
Yeah.
Your impact drivers, your drills, your reciprocating saws,
Yeah.
things like that. Make sure you have good tools. Your table saw probably too. Our house, we are a Makita house. That is when I remember
Makita Ryobi mixture.
mixture, but
Yeah.
with the battery stuff, it's Makita.
Yeah.
And the reason is we had 3 tool brands we were considering: DeWalt, Makita, and Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And we just waited for the best Black Friday sale, and it happened to be Milwaukee that year. So we bought Milwaukee. Bought Makita. If I had to do it again, I might buy Milwaukee. I do think it's that little skosh better. But at the same time, we saved a fuck ton of money, and the Makita has been dead reliable.
Yeah.
I've got no beef with Makita at all.
No.
So yeah, spend money on good tools. One thing I would suggest also, if you need to save money on tools, is find a factory outlet that's nearest you. We bought our hammer drill, our plug-in hammer drill. The Ryobi hammer drill came from the Ryobi tool outlet up the road in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and also this awesome kit that we've lost most of the pieces to, but it was for
We're very
drills.
bad about sockets and drill bits.
Yeah, drill bits, and it was amazing. But yeah, definitely do keep those
Yeah,
stores in
this
mind.
is a point you invest in.
Yeah.
Because we spent, I think, $600 buying that giant Makita set.
Less than that.
Oh, we spent several $100s,
Yeah.
multiple $100s, and it has served us now for like 5 or 6 seasons without missing a beat, no issue. The batteries are still fucking amazing. Yeah, I mean, I've got no complaints. Meanwhile, every Harbor Freight battery power tool. Now, okay, I've got to have a caveat here because I actually had a sit-down conversation. This is true with the person who does the buying for power tools at Harbor Freight. This was a sheer dumb coincidence. It happened at a craft show you were at. And he just happened to be there, and we actually had like a 30-minute powwow about Harbor Freight tools and why I was refusing to buy them. And he's like, they're great.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, they're not. They're bullshit.
Yeah.
The Hercules line and some of the new stuff they're doing is much better than what they had. Like the Chicago Electric is shit.
Yeah.
But like, the Hercules line is good. But here's the thing. Hercules doesn't save you that much money, especially if you are smart and buy the tools on sales.
Yeah.
So just bear that in mind.
Yeah, and that is
You got to
one of-
spend, basically, no matter where you go, you got to spend the money to get the good tool.
Yeah, and that's exactly it, because we did compare, the higher branded ones at Harbor Freight versus, Home Depot and Lowe's,
Yeah.
and they were about the same price.
Yeah. Once you get to the really good Harbor Freight tools, like I said, the Hercules line, I think, is their top tier. You're going to be paying basically the same thing you'd be paying for a DeWalt or a Makita or whatever. And yeah, it's probably, I do believe them when they say it's on the same tier,
Yeah.
but it's the same price. And why would you not go with a more consistent brand when it's been around for 18 million years?
Yeah.
Like the fucking cavemen were using Makita drills to draw art in the wall, probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, do that. Spend money on good tools. Next item. Get comfortable with dumpster diving.
Yeah.
Any squick you have about taking stuff out of the trash or jumping in a dumpster, the quicker you lose that, the happier you're going to be.
Well, and I like curb watching better.
Oh, curb
'Cause-
watching's great.
Yeah, because we know in the neighborhoods when the trash comes, and we will
Thursday
go.
is bulk trash day.
It is. In our neighborhood, it is, and so we will go and look
Yeah.
and see if there's anything useful. Now, we haven't done this past year because we've been squeaky about bringing other people's stuff home, but
But in general, it's a...
in general, yeah.
We used to do fairly regular tours of the walks through the neighborhood on Friday. I mean,
Yeah.
the Wednesday rather, to see what people had put out.
Exactly, and also watch for like the free section on Craigslist,
Facebook
and
Marketplace,
Yeah.
diddly-diddly-dee, yeah. But basically, get comfortable going through people's trash.
Mm-hmm.
The best haul I think I ever brought in was a load of scrap vinyl siding.
yes,
Like a fuck ton of vinyl siding. And basically what they did is someone got their house re-vinyl sided, and the people that did it had scrap vinyl siding, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So they just threw it at the curb, and it was like it was like hundreds of pounds of it, basically.
it was a lot. Yeah,
I had to bring it in multiple loads.
right.
Um,
Yeah.
So it was a lot of vinyl siding, and it served us very well. Next up.
Okay, costuming. And this kind of ties in with the last thing. This is for people and props. Garage sales, go the last day and preferably the last hour and say, hey.
Yeah, go when they're desperate.
Exactly. What are you going to do with all the stuff you didn't sell? I'm opening a haunted house. Would you consider donating it to me?
Or even just say, I'll give you a couple of bucks for the rack of clothes or whatever.
Exactly.
You can get some amazing deals that way.
And if that doesn't work, you can always go back on the trash day and see if they've thrown it all away.
Yeah.
Because that does happen.
That does happen, and we've seen it happen ourselves, and we've obtained stuff that way.
Oh, yeah,
Like
I
we
have
saw a mirror, I think it was.
Yes, I have a giant mirror
That was
frame.
too much for us to buy in the garage. We could not negotiate it down any
Right.
lower. We tried. We wanted to give money for it. She wouldn't take anywhere what we thought was reasonable. We said, fine. 2 days later, it was on the curb.
Yep.
We got a mirror.
Yeah, exactly.
Mirror frame, rather.
Yeah, I brought it home. I'm going to paint it. It's going to look awesome.
It's going to be great. Yeah, and thrift shops are great as well for
Yeah.
this. Also, your closet.
Yeah.
My shoes have a lifespan.
Yes.
First, they are my everyday shoes.
Right.
Then they become my exercise shoes.
Yes.
And then they become my, oh shit, I got to get the male shoes. And then they become haunt shoes.
Yeah, exactly. Because adding shoes to your props actually gives it a little bit of realistic
But you can do
quality.
that with any clothing. It's the same concept.
Exactly. If you're throwing out a shirt because it has a hole in it, that's perfect for a zombie.
Yeah.
Put it
Don't
on a
throw out
zombie.
clothes. Put them on zombies.
Yeah.
Put them on props.
And also make sure to get different sizes and clothes for different genders.
Yeah.
So
This is one of the reasons I love thrift shopping, because it's very easy to do that in a thrift shop environment as opposed to a garage sale.
yeah.
Because like a thrift shop, I mean, a garage sale is going to have basically that person's shit.
Yeah, and I think my favorite buy as far as that I've gotten is the theater department where I work was having a sale on costumes, and it was basically $5 for a grocery bag full of clothes.
Yeah.
You can go and you can pick out everything. So I've got like wedding dresses and formal wear and
Yeah.
some like old timey clothes from that one sale.
Yeah.
So check with your local theater departments and see what they're doing with their old costumes they don't want.
And beyond that, start hitting up garage sales, start hitting up thrift shops. You'll be amazed what you can get.
Yeah.
I'm always amazed. Next up, watch lots of YouTube. This is a kudos to both Ryan Greger and Jeremy Backus, both who posted something very similar here. I'm kind of combining their suggestions into one. Basically, get good at DIY. And
Yeah.
the industry is so different from 2005 when we first started. Well, in 2005, you have to understand, YouTube was literally just founded, and basically everything on it was pirated content. There was no haunt YouTube. There was none of that stuff. My advice there is start watching tutorials and channels out there that focus on haunt builds and haunt stuff. It's so different than it was 15 years ago. 15 years ago, people were still being very secretive. They are not now.
Right.
Take advantage of it. Believe me, as an old fogey in this in this field, you young whippersnappers have it good, and you better enjoy it.
Sure.
Next item.
All right. Getting back over there.
Sorry, you want me to take it?
Get involved in Facebook groups and other social media groups.
Now, do it now.
Yeah,
Now, today, early.
exactly. Because you can show your progression as a haunter through your channels. Like, I wish we had photos and things from that very first year.
We have a few, but not many. We have a few, but not many. You're right.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in a while. So anyway, but yeah, there's groups. We've mentioned Haunters Hangout before. There's Haunters Toolbox. There's also DIY Halloween, DIY Haunted House, DIY Home Haunt.
Yeah.
And those are places where people post their projects and sometimes will give you help with recreating it yourself.
Yes. These are groups, and the most important thing to do is to read.
Yes.
Mouth shut, eyes open, ears open. Read, listen, understand. Focus more on reading than posting or commenting, especially if you're brand new. This is a place to learn, not necessarily a place to chat for you right now. Now, as you grow and as you do things, you'll probably be participating more. But if you're new, this is advice for new haunters. You're going to want to start by reading and listening as much as possible.
Yep.
Next up, use Cad Software, please. It saves so much time. We did a whole episode on Cad and haunting, and I did not include the damned episode number. I'm sure Crystal will kindly look it up for me real fast. But this is a process that saves you so much time when the build. Once you have a good idea of where all the pieces are going to fit together and how it's going to look, you can do virtual fly-throughs, things like that. It saves so much time. And even on our small-ass haunt, 625 square feet, not much. We do a CAD layout every year just so that we know where the pieces fit.
Yeah, and it's episode 193.
Thank you very
for those
much.
if you wonder.
Next up.
Next up is when designing, focus on actor position, locations, and scares. We've done multiple episodes.
Yeah,
on
I
this.
didn't include an episode number because we have like all of them.
Yes, but when we're building out a room, we talk the most about where is the scare coming from, what type of scare it is.
Where's the distract? Where's the startle?
Where's the distract? Where's the startle? And how are actors going to access their scare opportunity?
Yeah, with the CAD software we use, they have a very convenient 3D model of a human, And what I do is I put the people in my CAD, my design. So that way I know exactly where the humans fit in. And I can make sure there is space for them and access for them. Because God knows I've worked at some haunts that have not thought that part through. You can tell very quickly when you're at a haunt that does not consider where the fuck the actor is going to be. Right? It's very easy. On that note, speaking of actors, give multiple scare opportunities. Give actors chances to operate multiple scares and give them multiple approaches to the room they're in. Flexibility for the actor is so important.
Yeah, I know that our first builds, way when we first started, and we had very, very small group of actors. We had a couple who were running 3 scares.
Yeah.
Because it was turn here.
Bang, bang, bang. It was like bingo, bango, bongo. Yeah, it was...
Yeah,
that was a bit much, but we had the right idea, which is give them multiple scares, because that way, A, you need fewer actors, and that comes up later. But B, if the first scare doesn't hit, they're not going to get sad. They got a second shot.
Yeah, exactly. And as your crew grows, then this becomes less important, but still keep it in mind.
Yep, absolutely.
Because one scare might not work the way you think.
Yeah, and that's just it. We have had scares that we thought were fucking brilliant, but the visitors sure as fuck didn't.
Yep.
Next up.
All right. So next up is remember that actors are human.
Oh God, this is such a problem.
Yes.
Oh man.
So they have to be able to repeat the scares that you build hundreds of times a night. They have to be comfortable, and they have to be able to get in and out easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, this is a thing you can see when you act in a haunt. You'll see immediately which haunt designers built for this and which did not.
Exactly.
It's very, very obvious.
Yes, if you've got someone up in a cage with no quick exit, what are they doing in a fire?
Yeah, what do they need a bathroom break? Screw a fire.
Well, yeah. But I'm going to go to the extreme and say that they're going to burn alive. So there.
What they're going to do is become medium rare.
Yes.
So yeah, remember the actors are human. Make sure that whatever you're doing, having them do, can be repeated hundreds of times without injury or excessive fatigue. Yeah, very important. I know we've had a bad habit in the past. We've been much better in the future about making things too heavy. Focus on things like that. Focus on making it light, easy, and effective and flexible.
Yeah. Yeah, and for drop panels or things that you want to be louder, you don't have to make them heavier. Just put metal on the bottom and make it strike another piece of metal. It'll also keep the prop lasting longer.
Yeah. There are ways to not... Because like I said, the Big Bertha, our very first drop panel we ever built, I think the panel part itself weighed like 10, 15 pounds.
Yeah.
And that doesn't sound like much, but slamming that hundreds of times in a night,
yeah,
and then lifting it up and putting it back in, oh, it's a lot.
Yeah, and that year, it was the first year.
That was your dad working it for most of the night.
Well, he also built it, so he knew.
Yeah, technically it's his fault, not ours.
But he didn't know, because it was our first year, that he'd have to pick up and drop that panel 400 plus times in a few hours.
Luckily, he's a sturdy guy, and he was able to get through it.
Yeah.
But don't do that to your actors. That's a dick move. Even if he did it to himself, it's still a dick move.
Yeah.
Next, have more spots for actors than absolutely necessary.
Yes.
This is one of the lessons we've learned over time.
Right.
And I wish we'd started with it. Basically, know how many actors you need for your haunt to run, meaning every room or every scare is operated, and then add additional spots, at least 50% more spots, where people can be, but they're not 100% necessary.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is...
It's because...
Next item. That's a segue. That's where you don't acknowledge the transition between two things.
Yes, and where you expect me to be over there instead of fixing the chat.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, seriously, where are we
Okay,
now?
I'll do the next one. Speaking of actors, start recruiting now.
Oh, yeah.
Early. Well, not
Oh.
maybe not now, but early.
That's not why I thought there was additional spaces. I thought it was because your actors are going to like you. They're going to like haunting. They have friends. They will want to bring their friends along with
Absolutely.
them. So then it makes it a
And-
friend thing.
And why don't you get more into the reason why you want extra spots in just a second, but start recruiting early, but not too early. You don't want to try to make people have commitments like now, because they'll fucking forget. October's a ways away. We're halfway to Halloween, not there, you know? So 6 months from now, are they going to remember they committed to working your haunt those nights? No. So yeah, start recruiting early, and that way you can start building the staff, but do it late enough so that they can make the commitments and mark off the days they need for work or whatnot. So give lots of notice, make sure they can plan. Honestly, we start full-throated actor recruitment usually in August, and it goes through September and into early October. By the time we start promoting the haunt in October, we have a pretty good handle on who's going to be in it usually, and so that's my advice there. And to that end, next item is
Seek out younger people, but reliable ones. Now, I'm not sure that I agree with this one on you.
okay, go for it.
Because we've had our friends who are also adults be in the haunt. Now, we have had a few teenagers who work with us and who are very reliable, and we love that they're growing up as part of the
haunt
family.
community. Yep.
Yeah. But I really think adults are fine to work with too.
The thought here is that young people are going to be the more enthusiastic, and especially if you do, the thing where you recruit locally. You don't have, and that's one of the tips I put in there was recruit nearby.
Yeah.
Try to eliminate those transportation issues.
Yeah.
We focus very heavily on the high school down the road from us because we know all the kids live within about half a mile of us, and they can walk their asses here. They don't have to have a car or anyone come get them. It eliminates transportation issues because that's the downside of young people is they typically don't have a means to get themselves there and do that.
Right.
They oftentimes don't. Even if they're really excited to do it, they may not have it. So I personally think target younger people, focus locally so that you eliminate those transportation issues. But there's something to be said about adults too. But adults have jobs, and adults may not be able. Life gets in the way of adults far more often than teens.
That is true.
All right, next item up for bid. When you're recruiting, recruit 1.5 to 2x what you need. Get if you need 5 names to run your haunt, I'm just throwing numbers, recruit 10 people. And the reason is people are flakes, especially if it's not a paid gig.
Yeah.
So if you recruit more than you need, that way you're guaranteed pretty much that all the spots will be filled. Now, what if too many people show up? Well, didn't we just discuss that?
Yeah.
You should have additional spots available to put them in. Say, oh, yeah, usually this room doesn't require a human distraction. Guess what? You're the human distraction in this room. Oh, guess what? I need another person running the queue line with me.
Yeah.
That's what you do, is you find roles for them. You can. It's always better to have more help than you need than less help than you want.
Exactly. Yeah. Next up, give actors food, drink, breaks, space, etc.
They're like plants that scare people. Treat them like plants.
So that's funny because I have a roommate from college who was actually scared of plants. But yes. But no, I mean, they're hard working. This goes back to the whole actors are people.
Yeah.
Just,
It really does, yeah.
Give
them food and water, feed them, and give them access to liquid while they're there. They're not going to do their jobs well if they're hungry or thirsty.
Yeah, we have actually bought these tiny little coolers and put them in every actor station.
Yeah, and they're like $2 coolers. They're not expensive.
Yeah.
And just take some sodas and some ice and dump it in there and hide it.
Or whatever.
Water, whatever, yeah.
And I would poll your actors and see what kind of drinks they prefer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, you've got to have water because
water
you
is
need
going to be the most
hydrate.
important, yeah.
But some people like different things, and we only have diet soda in the house.
But if you prefer regular soda, we'll get you some regular soda.
Exactly.
We want Gatorade, we'll get you Gatorade.
With
Huh? we will work very hard to meet your dietary requests. On that note, speaking of treating actors well, allow them to be creative and allow them to do things on their own. Don't try to dictate everything to do. Obviously, you have to set boundaries and rules, but give guidelines, give ideas, but let them explore and experiment. Because here's the thing. We've had rooms in this haunt that our idea was shit.
Yeah.
What we thought was going to work. We were so dedicated. We spent hours building it, hours and hours building it. We were convinced it was going to work. Died.
Yeah.
But a good actor can save a dead room.
Yep. Exactly.
So but they can't if you don't let them explore it. So yeah, give them some phrases to go to, tell them about the character, but let them be creative and let them make the role their own and do it the way they're finding is getting the best reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a rigid, poopy pants.
Yeah.
Next up.
Right. Make sure actors know who's in charge
Oh my
while
God.
open.
This is so important.
Yeah. Someone needs to be available and in charge while you're open. So, and there needs to be a talk about what happens if there's a problem.
Yeah, if something breaks, a problem customer, problem visitor is coming through.
Yeah.
What do you do? Who do you talk to? And our haunt, it's easy. You're general for the inside crew.
Mm-hmm.
I'm general of the outside crew.
Yes.
That's it.
Well, and Ellie is the adult.
And
at
Ellie
the
is the
house.
resident adult
Yes.
who handles those particular things.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's the three people you would need to speak to about anything. Basically, I treat Ellie as my supervisor when I'm running, so that way, because if I can't handle the situation because I'm running queue,
Yeah.
I'm like, we need an adult. That's when you call Ellie. Ellie's like my manager.
Yeah. Exactly.
In a weird way, it's true, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Switching gears a little bit, talk a little bit about marketing and stuff, because this is, of course, an area I have a lot of background in and I'm very passionate about. Consider using Canva for flyers and posters. Canva.com, Canva.com. It is a subscription service, but it is legit. It is great, and it will help you make excellent flyers, posters, internet ads, Facebook posts, literally just about anything you can think of. They have templates for and can do it right off the bat. It's $19 a month for one user,
Right.
and then you save money per additional user. So yeah, if you do not have a hardcore graphic design background and do not have all that stuff, like all the software socked away, get Canva. It'll save you time, save you money. It's fast, easy, and it looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, and the resizing is really nice.
Oh my God.
And
Like, I love that I can design an ad for Facebook, for example. This is my Facebook ad. And then I decide, I want to run it on Instagram, and Instagram's got different dimensions.
Yes.
Well, you just hit the magic resize button, and Canva takes care of that for you.
Yeah. No, there is a free version of Canva also, but
it's very limited.
it's limited and it doesn't do the automatic
This
resizing.
is a thing to spend money on, honestly, because it's worth it. Because you're going to want to take those flyers you make and turn them into Facebook ads. You're going to want to take, your website banner and maybe put it into your Facebook timeline slot.
No.
All that resizing, if you don't really know what the hell you're doing, is some very difficult stuff.
It's a pain.
Even
'cause
if you know what you're doing, it's time consuming as hell.
Yeah, I have the free one for work.
Ugh.
And we are on all the social media, so it's a pain.
Yeah, that's a pain. just spend the goddamn. This is one of the times I say just spend the money.
No.
It's worth it. And I'm cheap. I'm actively cheap, and I'm saying spend the money on Canva.
Mm-hmm.
Next up.
Right, start promotion weeks before opening, not months.
Yeah, this is when a lot of people seem to screw up.
Yeah, and the reason is because people forget.
Yeah.
Like, unless if it's something new, then it's fresh in their mind. We start putting it out there at the beginning of October. We usually get the flyers in the last weekend of September.
Yeah, we usually get the flyers a couple of weeks before we actually start putting them out.
Yeah.
Just because that way we can have the super slow boat to China shipping. It's like $3 for all the flyers.
Yeah, do order them early so that you can take advantage of not having to have it
Yeah.
rushed.
In fact, if you're not doing anything for the haunt right now, this might be something that you look at doing, because you can take care of this today and basically have them printed and just sitting in a closet or something for when you got to do distribution.
Exactly.
If you've got all your dates and all the important info already sorted, why not?
Yeah.
And probably save a lot of money. Next item is focus on free promotion as well. Local Facebook groups and Nextdoor are great. Get involved in the relevant Facebook groups for your city, for your neighborhood, for whatever, and promote there. It's also a great way to recruit for actors. Mm-hmm. That's also a great actor recruitment tool. But yeah, free promotion is amazing. Use it.
Yes. This also includes send press releases to local
The
papers.
next item is the send press release.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I segued.
Yes, you did. But now someone's not counting.
I know.
Anyways, no. Next item. No, go ahead.
Yeah. So send press releases, contact the local papers, TV stations. It's great free promotion. Get into their calendars too. This is an important one because even the little free papers that most towns have calendars.
Yeah, and here's the thing, just to give you an idea of how powerful this is. We have a cheesy home haunt. We've said it 100 times. We're not cheesy, but we're small. A small little home haunt
small.
in a random neighborhood in New Orleans. All right? We have been featured currently on every television station in the city over the course of our run.
Yeah.
And in every newspaper.
Yes.
And this includes significant articles, video coverage. If you visit our house, we've got these clippings all over our walls.
Yeah.
We've got the video when we were on WWL Saved. I mean, we've been everywhere on local media, and it has attracted a lot of attention to us. And that is all from just sending press releases and getting on the calendar of events.
Right.
That's all it took.
Yeah. And by the second year, they were contacting us to see if we were
Yeah,
doing it
now
again.
I don't even send the press releases. They email me.
Yeah. They're like, hey, are you doing it?
That's
and
bi-
also keep in mind that when sending these, you want to get in touch with news outlets early.
Yeah, absolutely. This should be done probably middle of September, a few weeks earlier, especially considering there are some monthly publications that if you want to be in their October edition, you need to get in sometime early to mid-September. Right?
Yes.
Next item. We're winding down. We actually did it just about right. Holy crap. We only got a couple more to go. Don't overlook the practical stuff.
Right.
This is something that I know we screwed up early and have been trying to fix in recent years, and I think we've done a decent job. But ask yourself some simple questions. Where will people park? Where will your actors park? Where can they leave their cars if they're driving to you? How will people find you? I mean, yeah, okay, you've got an address and Google Maps is a thing. I get that. But never underestimate the stupidity of people driving.
Yeah.
We were driving and riding today. Do not underestimate the stupidity of people driving.
Yeah, that's very true. And we were able to watch for sales on yard signs, and we put those out along the route to get to us.
Here's a weird suggestion I'm going to give is to get on the Vistaprint newsletter.
Yeah.
And I don't use them for flyers. I don't use them for most things. But for the weird one-off stuff like yard signs and banners, I do tend to use them. But if you get on their email list, they'll email you saying, hey, banners 40% off.
Yeah,
That's when you buy your fucking banner.
exactly.
Yard signs 50% off.
Yeah.
Buy your yard signs.
Well, I think the banner we use now we got for free
Yeah, we did.
because they were doing a promotion in New Orleans, and you saw it in an email saying,
Yeah, they sent an
"Hey,
email
come
saying,
and
hey,
get
we're coming to
one
town."
free thing up to
$100.
$100
And we did
value."
2 banners, and we got 2 banners, the big one and the small one.
Yeah.
The rules banner and the big name banner.
Exactly.
Both came from that, and we got a few other odds and ends, and we paid like $10 for it. Went over the limit, so we chipped in like $15.
Yeah,
Seriously,
It was amazing.
Get on the email newsletter. And Vistaprint's not the only one.
No.
There are other stores.
yeah.
But
we
get on
also
their
use
newsletter.
Next Day Flyers.
Yeah,
quite a
Next Day
bit.
Flyers is our main flyer provider. They do amazing work, and the quick turnaround time, and the prices are just really good. So yeah, I definitely recommend Next Day Flyers for flyers personally. But yeah, don't overlook this practical stuff.
Yeah, and also make sure that whenever you're recruiting, you're going to have people for front of house to help direct
Traffic.
traffic.
Yeah.
and-
And here's the thing: if someone says, "I'd love to help out, but I don't want to be in the haunt,"
Yeah,
maybe you've got someone that can help you with parking, or someone that can help you with human, directions, and
yeah. We have people who help on Halloween night because we do trick or treating.
we have a whole
separate.
road crew. Yeah.
We so we have a couple of people who just are there to hand out candy.
And also help make sure people don't park in front of driveways and dumb shit like that, 'cause people will. Fuckers.
Yeah,
Never underestimate the stupidity of people in a car. Seriously.
no,
That's dangerous to underestimate. So yeah, but don't overlook this practical stuff. Put yourself in the shoes of your visitor and your actor. And hey, maybe even consider pretending to be one and just seeing what the experience is like from a customer standpoint.
right.
Just try driving up to your haunt, see where you park, see what it's like, see if you feel safe. Oh, for fuck's sakes, Cad.
Yes.
Sorry for the cat on the microphone. I'm pretty sure that just wrecked the audio there.
Probably. He's been clawing my leg.
I don't understand what this cat's problem is. Every time he ignores us until we come out here to record. It's kind of funny, actually.
Yes.
Regardless. And the final tip, and this one came from Sam Farrell, and I think it's a great one to end on because it's the most important in many ways.
Yeah.
Don't forget to have fun.
Yeah. It is supposed to be fun.
This is supposed to be fun. You, as the haunter, the haunt builder, the haunt operator, are supposed to have fun too. I don't care if it's a business. I don't care if it's a home haunt. You're supposed to have fun. I know I struggle with this. Because when that haunt's open, I'm all business. I'm all character. I'm all a haunt operator. Don't forget to have fun, because if you don't have fun, you're going to burn out and you'll do it for 1 year and quit because it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to have a good time. Sam, I think when Sam put this, I'm like, damn, I should have said that when I was talking about the question of the week
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
Because that's a damn good point. Is I know that's something I struggle with. Is I forget to have fun. Remember to allow yourself to have fun, please. It's you don't want to burn out on haunting after just one season. And if it's not fun, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because nobody in their right goddamn mind gets into haunting, even on a professional level, to make money. You know what I mean? It's a business. You got to run it like a business. But believe me, you can make a lot more money doing almost any other type of business. You could sell fucking widgets, you know, or be a car mechanic or any number of other things and make more money.
Yeah.
You're doing this because it's fun and you love it. Remember to take the time to love it, please. It really sucks. And I know there have been years where I did not have fun. Things went shitty. I was in a bad mood, whatever. No. Those are the years where we talk the hardest about not doing it again. Those are the years where we have to beat the spirit into ourselves to get back at it. And that's rough.
It is.
But if you allow yourself to have fun, allow yourself to play, allow yourself to enjoy it, it's much easier to go through the work and the labor the next year. It's that simple. On that note, I think that's our 30. I didn't count, but if I didn't come up with the 30, I will count this later and I'll put it in the show notes and another 10 or 2. Because that was just it. When I sat down to do these show notes, I'm like, I set 30 as the number to set a challenge for myself. And then I realized I'd been there, like, you know, talking and working on it for not much time, and then I was like 20 in.
Yeah.
You know? So there's so many more we could do. So on that note, do we have any answers to the question of the week?
Yes. Chris Gay would like to know what social media outlet is most effective at reaching our target range of 16 to 35-year-old audience. Scott Mosso, how much do you suggest at a beginning haunt spend on marketing, and what marketing is most recommended?
Okay, I can touch on the spend real fast.
Okay.
Because supposedly you need to spend $1 to $2 at least for every customer you want or need. So if you need 10,000 customers to keep the lights on, you need to plan on a $10,000, $20,000 budget. So focus on how many customers you need and how many you want, and that will determine your marketing budget.
Yeah, we let's see, we now get a couple thousand flyers.
Yeah. I think we do 2,000 flyers. And one of the things to think about is, like, I know with Next Day Flyers, and it's true for other printers, like, getting 1,000 flyers printed, I'm just making up numbers here, it's like $100 or something.
Yeah.
But getting 2,000 printed is like $120.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
It's not a linear thing.
No, look for the bulk deals. It's movie popcorn pricing.
Yeah, it is. It really is. So we usually wind up with more flyers than we'll ever actually give out. If anyone wants extra Bernie Baxter flyers, we could give those out.
We probably have some around, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I should start putting those in the packs.
In the packs. We can send some Bernie Baxter flyers to people so they can see the types of flyers we do.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. So, yeah, that's what I was told. But basically, you need to think about your cost per customer and how many customers you need. There's your amount.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking more about this with upcoming podcast. I don't want to spoil it, but I think our next guest is in the chat now.
Yeah. Maybe hanging around.
Maybe hanging around and answering some questions in the chat, which is good on him. And we'll be talking to him tomorrow, hopefully, next week. If all goes well, we'll be talking to him next week. So, yeah, excited about that. It's going to be a great conversation. Talking about storytelling and stuff too. It's going to be really great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on that note, everyone, thank you very much for spending the past hour with us as we went through 30 tips and suggestions and we have for new haunters. Hope it was useful. Even if you're not a new haunter, maybe something in there was useful. Definitely take the time. Check us out at hauntweekly.com or Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook. YouTube.com/HauntWeekly is our YouTube channel. Check us out on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. And if you want to catch us live, Facebook.com/HauntWeekly, Sundays, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Come find us. We're here and we're doing it live. Until next time, though, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this was Haunt Weekly, episode 282, 30 Tips for New Haunters. We will see you all next week, hopefully with a guest. We'll see you then.